I don't know what parts of Texas you're in. I'll be honest, my Texas geography isn't great, so
Okay.
don't quiz me here on this.
Okay.
Did you start seeing more of the Lucha influence once you started hitting Texas? I'm not sure what part of Texas you're in, but I know at least, you know, southern Texas and certain parts of Texas,
Sure.
there is that Lucha influence, and of course, Southern California. Did you see that at all when you were there, or when you first
Um,
started in that area?
Absolutely. No, absolutely. And I trained in Arkansas. Come here, baby. Come here. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Come here.
You were showing these dogs before we started recording, and they're adorable, truly adorable.
Yeah, that's there's two of them and they look just alike. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being unprofessional.
No,
This
I
is
think everybody loves to see them.
this is Daisy. Hi, Daisy. She's the one that likes me more. Ivy is her sister, and they look almost identical. So they're not used to being ignored. So um, I trained in Arkansas, and then when I moved to Texas and started working with the Christian wrestling organization, they had a guy that had trained with Les Thatcher, which means that he got to train with uh, Benoit, Malenko, and he brought all of those training techniques where Bill was all psychology and legitimacy. He brought the lucha style, and he'd get mad at me for saying it, but very little psychology. But because of that, I got to have an opportunity where I felt like at any given time, I could have a match with anybody on any style and not just hold my own, but be able to do really well. So I actually got both sides of the training. And then as the years go, all of that benefits me. So there was definitely that lucha influence. Um, when you're talking about Southern near the Mexican border, all down through there, Laredo, and that I still see a lot of that now. But I'm Central Texas, and like historically speaking, I'm more in the home of the Von Erichs.
Mhm.
So it's if you're a big guy and you're physical and you're legitimate and you're believable, that works. But on any given show, it's that circus approach. You get a little bit of everything. So yeah, I won't say I was trained lucha style, but I worked a lot of matches where, what I can do is I can catch people and I can
Base,
base
yeah.
for people. I can be a target for guys. You're not going to see me diving over the top rope anymore, but I got to experience all those kind of things.
Did you find that over time, that style, because it's safe to say the way professional wrestling has evolved in ring has a lot of influences from Lucha, a lot of influences
Mhm.
from Japan. Did you find even where you are now, there's a lot more of that than there was, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, just your main area?
Yeah, 20 years ago, absolutely. We had, and a lot of guys, if you want to go back and see great wrestlers, Tiger Tretch Phillips Jr., those kind of guys were part of our organization. And I won't say they were lucha, but they were very much a high flying, exciting. And there was a spot on the card for those guys too. And I mean, Tretch and I became friends. He's in Oklahoma. We still talk occasionally. When I was breaking in, he was a legend. I mean, he was really good. So you saw some of that, but moving to Texas and seeing more of the lucha style, and 10 years, 20 years later, absolutely, it's like now you almost can't have a show without some representation of that.
Mhm. Yeah, because the American independent style, which that's just a name some people use for,
Mhm.
especially the Ring of Honor in the TNA X Division style, and a lot of that did come from Texas because you had Brian Kendrick training
Right.
down there, you had Brian Danielson training down there, you had Paul.
Yep.
And I don't know if any of that was on your radar when Shawn Michaels' school popped up there, but that was the hub. Texas was right there with a lot of that. So,
Well, and they're in San Antonio, which is closer to the border.
mhm.
But I just think if you want to be a true professional, you can't. You, for me personally, you shouldn't limit yourself to here's the right style. Now, there's lots of styles. What I've had to do for myself personally, excuse me, is this is what I do when I do 4 days of TV commentary.
For the NWA, and make sure to check
Yeah,
out the NWA on
yeah,
YouTube.
absolutely. It's what I saw was, as I get older and I'm limited, I have to really focus on what I think I do well. My athleticism has it, I was a good athlete and then it dipped, and then I got back in shape, I got better shape, and then it dipped again. And then it's kind of like, I remember as I played basketball a lot, realizing, okay, you know what? I'm not quick and I'm not explosive anymore. I better work on my low post game. Right. Okay. So as a wrestler, I can't do all the things I used to be able to do. So I better focus on what I can do. So I know what I do well. And I know that that's when you see a match, that's what you're going to see. And it's maybe not somebody's flavor of ice cream, but what is it? Trying to think who said it, and I don't know that he actually said it, but I think that Valentine said, that he said, "You may not believe wrestling is real, but you're going to know that I am."
Yeah, I think that's always attributed to Johnny Valentine. That
Yeah,
sounds about
and
right.
that's kind of the way I approach it. And don't get me wrong. I mean, there's times when something may not go exactly what I want, but I want people to believe in what I do, um, because I believe in it. So that's why I do it. And you're not going to see me dive over the top rope anymore. It doesn't make sense. So why would I? So anyway, yeah, it's the lucha style. Incredibly exciting. It's entertaining. My body doesn't do that anymore. Not that it ever did a lot of it, but it doesn't do that. So I'm not gonna. But it's something for everybody.